If you guys don't know, I was number 72 on the Trump coin leaderboard. It cost me $480,000, and this is all I got at the event. This hat they gave away to pretty much everyone. They had 220 bags, and that's pretty much all I got. I just got to the Trump dinner. Trump came, gave a speech for, I think, exactly 23 minutes. And then he left. His helicopter was right back there. Left pretty quickly, didn't stay for the dinner. Maybe he'll come back, you never know. Anyway, the food's coming out now, I gotta go.
So apparently this guy spent $480,000 to be one of the 220 oligarchs at Trump's corrupt meme coin dinner. And he's probably benefiting more from the views of the videos he took from his experience than he is from the dinner itself.
Gave us this card, and inside of it is this. Number 9. Okay.
You know, the energy of his videos were generally disappointed, forcing some people to ask him if he still supports Trump. But when it comes to influencing someone as corrupt as this president, he may not even care about his politics. He may just want to make some money off of this easy mark. It's why Elizabeth Warren described it in these terms.
Donald Trump's dinner is an orgy of corruption. That's what this is all about. We are here today to talk about exactly one topic: corruption. Corruption in its ugliest form. Donald Trump is using the presidency of the United States to make himself richer through crypto. And he's doing it right out there in plain sight. He is signaling to anyone who wants to ask for a special favor and is willing to pay for it exactly how to do that.
Yeah, we're in such a death spiral in this country. Elizabeth Warren pointing out Trump's corruption playing out in front of us in plain sight is exactly what his puppet Mike Johnson said about it, except he said it was as if it was a good thing.
We do not know who was there. The list has not been released. We do not know how much of the money came from outside the country. The president has, of course, a huge role to play when it comes to regulating crypto. I really have a difficult time imagining that if this was a Democratic president doing the exact same thing, you wouldn't be outraged.
Well, look, I don't know anything about the dinner. I was a little busy this past week, as you know, getting the reconciliation package over the line. And so I'm not going to comment on something I haven't even heard about. I'm not sure who was there or what the purpose was. But I'll say this. President Trump is very active. He's very engaged. He's the greatest deal maker, one of the greatest deal makers of all time.
Mike Johnson uses the same played out and rehearsed tactic of claiming complete ignorance to the details of Trump's corruption as a way to avoid endorsing it. He did the same thing when he was asked about the airplane giveaway from Qatar.
If the president were to accept an airplane from the Qatari government, should Congress have approval over that kind of gift?
Look, I've been a little busy on reconciliations. I'm not following all the twists and turns of the Qatar jet. I've certainly heard about it. My understanding is it's not a personal gift to the president. It's a gift to the United States, and other nations give us gifts all the time. But I'm going to leave it to the administration. They know much more about the details of that, okay? It's not my lane.
The emoluments clause is not in the lane of the Speaker of the House. Oh, okay, so let's read it and see. No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States. Well, Trump's working on violating that part next. And no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, accept any present, emolument, office, or title of any kind, whatever, from any king, prince, or foreign state. Again, without the consent of Congress, to prevent conflicts of interest and undue foreign influence on the U.S. officials. But Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, which is still part of Congress that's mentioned in the emoluments clause, says that's not his lane. They just say damning things all the time and know that there won't be any consequences. You know, it's the same thing Marco Rubio played when asked about the dinner. despite the widespread and well-known promotion of it.
Reports are that maybe about half or more of those individuals who will be meeting with him, many in a VIP reception, are foreigners. Do you have a list of those foreign individuals who will be meeting with the president?
I don't. I don't know anything about. I didn't even know there was a dinner on Thursday night, so I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So you don't know whether any of the foreign individuals who are going to be meeting with the president this Thursday night, for instance, are on our list of sanctioned individuals, or whether any of those individuals have connections to, let's say, terrorist organizations abroad?
Well, I think if they had terrorist links, the Department of Homeland Security probably would not have allowed them into the country. But I don't even know there is a dinner on Thursday. You're asking me about something I don't know about.
I mean, it's kind of naive to believe that
No.
they aren't going to be in that room talking about national security matters.
Well, I don't think that that's the case at all, because I would be aware if it was the case. The truth of the matter is I interact with government officials and others in governments of other countries. That's what I'll tell you, you're asking me about a dinner I don't know anything about. I can't answer you because I don't know anything about this dinner. It's the first I heard of it. Like I said, I don't keep the president's social schedule. It's not on my phone. It's not in my pocket. I don't even know. I can't comment on a dinner I know nothing about.
Yeah.
Forget the fact that it's a horrible look for the Secretary of State to claim that he knows nothing about a huge meeting of hundreds of foreign nationals, with money falling out of their pockets to influence Trump. I mean, that part should have him lose the last shred of credibility that he thought he had. But he went on to claim that it's part of Trump's personal schedule so that they can deny his use of the office for personal gain. But then Dum Dum used a podium with the presidential seal to speak to his purchasers at this private, personal dinner with friends that Marco Rubio knew nothing about. Again, use of the seal in these circumstances is also against the law to avoid conveying a false impression or sponsorship of approval by the government for things like this.
You oversaw, as Speaker, a congressional investigation into President Biden's ties to his son Hunter's questionable business dealings to enrich him. You seem to think it was your responsibility to look into this sort of thing then.
Yeah, Jake, the big important distinction, the Biden crime family, as they were named, earned that title. Why? Because they used shell companies, fake LLCs, series of what appeared to be money laundering operations, and Hunter Biden, of course, with his difficult past and the corruption in his past, the family on the public dole, or on the president's dole. The president lied about his involvement in the business dealings, all of that. The evidence just piled up. And by the way, at the same time, the evidence of his diminished mental capacity, subject to your book, of course. I wish it had been published a year earlier, because everybody saw it. Everybody saw what was happening. The difference, of course, is that President Trump does everything out in the open. He's not trying to hide anything. There's no shell companies or fake LLCs or fake family businesses. He's putting it out there so everybody can evaluate for themselves.
So instead of cornering him on this blatant hypocrisy of acting like he has absolutely no jurisdiction, knowledge, or anything having to do with Trump's presidency, Jake Tapper let this sleazy guy claim that he's more concerned with their year-and-a-half-long probe of Joe Biden that actually resulted in nothing more than the first few months of Donald Trump's documented corruption, simply because he doesn't care that he's breaking the law. It's the easiest follow-up question that I'm sure everyone that was watching and yelling at their screens was saying. But Tapper got buttered up by Johnson plugging his book, and he bought the snake oil that he pulled out of his pocket.
On the book, I wish the more than 200 people that talked to me and Alex Thompson, my co-author, after Election Day, I sure wish that they had talked to us a year ago. I agree with you on that. But on this matter with the crypto, shouldn't we at least just know who was at the dinner? Wouldn't you want to know that list of people?
I guess. I mean, again, I don't know anything about that dinner. Okay. I do know that President Trump is the most transparent president in the most transparent administration probably in history. He has nothing to hide, and he's out there trying to advance America's interests. That's what America First policies are all about, and that's what our big reconciliation bill will deliver for the people. We're really proud of the product.
It's pathetic for him to allow Mike Johnson to avoid his extreme hypocrisy over Trump's open corruption and secret guest list, and then still claim that he's the most transparent president in history, before then going back to the well of not knowing anything about the dinner, because they just passed a bill meant to screw over everyone except Trump's oligarchs. Literally, everything that he said was a lie and an admission of guilt, but there wasn't a journalist in sight to make him answer for it.
Privately, behind the scenes, how do they view Trump attending this dinner? Aaron, there are people here at the White House and certainly close advisors and admirers of the president who are uncomfortable by this. I mean, you saw the Wall Street Journal's report saying Eric Trump, the president's son, was. I heard that echoed and amplified in conversations we had throughout the day. And here is why. For all of the dinners and campaign events that the president has hosted at Mar-a-Lago or Bedminster or his golf club here outside Washington, this is different in every way because it has nothing to do with Republican Party politics. It has nothing to do with helping reelect House members or senators. It has everything to do with enriching himself and the Trump family and organization. That's what this is about. So the White House, I'm told, was initially sort of surprised by this, many of his advisors, because this is something the president decided to do on his own.